Yo, what is up guys? It's Panda and I'm back with another video. Today's video is about how to trade UGAZ and DGAZ. So before we get into how to trade, I'd like to ask if you guys could please subscribe and comment down below what you guys want to see next and any questions you guys have about this video or anything you guys have in general. Or just comment down anything you guys have any concerns. So kind of just going into UGAZ and DGAZ, I think we should kind of create a clear distinction between UGAZ and DGAZ. So the distinction between UGAZ is that basically the main purpose of UGAZ is to increase the daily performance of UNG um by 3 times. So basically that's 300%. So it basically, to kind of make this clearer, if UNG price grows 1%, you guys will display a daily increase of 3%. The best time to trade you guys is when you have a bullish sentiment on UNG. So that's kind of your distinction of you guys, and now kind of diversifying it from DGAZ. The main aim of DGAZ is to generate profits from losses in the UNG fund. Basically, DGAZ will increase the losses by 3 times inversely. Which means if the UNG price drops by 1%, DGAZ could bring you a gain of 3%. So the best time to think about DGAZ is when you have a bearish sentiment on the UNG fund. Basically, both UGAZ and DGAZ have a 3-to-1 leverage, which you should always keep in mind as you are trading UGAZ and DGAZ. Basically, when you are trading UGAZ and DGAZ, the biggest thing you should always be looking at is UNG. UNG determines how UGAZ and DGAZ will turn out. It has a direct correlation to this. So basically, UNG funds tracks the fund tracks the price movements in natural gas. So UNG stock will impact DGAZ and UGAZ directly. That's something to keep in mind as you kind of go through this. And basically, UNG is basically United States natural gas. So kind of going into the before trading, there's some things that we have to understand. I would say if you guys have a piece of paper around you, I would say take that out or try to take down these bullet points as much as possible. I was able to kind of think of 6 bullet points as I trade, which has helped me trade UGAZ and DGAZ. So I would like to talk about this. So basically, the first one is the difference in UGAZ and DGAZ. That's something always to keep in mind as you trade, because if you get them mixed up, you could possibly lose money here and there. The next is how you have to understand how to evaluate the energy industry. The third is the recent trends in natural gas stocks. So this is going to be based off of your research weekly and daily, before and after the market, because natural gas is always super fast moving. You have to be able to get into those points in and out to get in that price point, right? Then we also have to understand the recent trends in the recent trends in natural gas stocks. Again, that's something very important to talk about. We have to understand that leverage ETFs lose money over time, not only short term, not long term, only short term. So basically, that means we do not want to keep stocks over time. We want to be, these are going to be quick short term sells. So basically, you want to buy and sell that same day. If you have to hold them once, swing them for one day, but no more than that, because over time you're going to lose money, and that is something we do not want to see. So, and obviously going back to that, we have to understand that these assets decay over time, and then we also have to understand whether this is going to be an option trade for you or day trading. So basically, if it's going to be an option, you have to understand that options are decaying. ETFs, we have to understand that this will decay over time, and this also will happen in day trading, but day trading is going to be less of that because you are selling in that same day, and you're having maybe a day over of swinging, right? Then options, you just have to understand which was better for you, options or day trading. That's basically it for that. So then what we need to watch in natural gas ETFs before we even get into trading is according to we have to kind of think about the Natural Oceanic and Atmosphere Administration and understand that there is a weather concept to this. We have to understand when it's extremely warm in winter and when it's cold, or just understand what time of the year it is and understand how to kind of sell this. For example, the extremely warm winter this year resulted in lower demand for natural gas by 20%. So that's something to keep in mind. Weather has the biggest effect on how your UGAZ and DGAZ positions will perform. Since this is a fundamental for UGAZ, DGAZ, and possibly UNG, during this period of transition from the cold season to the warm season, you should also be interested in paying more attention to DGAZ. Purchasing DGAZ is like shorting the UNG fund, basically. So you can also still capture some quick wins in UGAZ, but you won't see as a high increase in DGAZ. I'm sorry, in UGAZ compared to DGAZ, which we have also been seeing out for these past couple of weeks. Um, then we should also weather kind of forecast also directly influences the potential demand in both stocks. You should take into the note of we should also take a note of a second factor, which is the change in natural gas supply, which is going to be obviously supplying DGAZ and UGAZ. Basically to kind of understand how to do this all, we have to be looking at the weekly natural gas storage report. And to kind of find this, you have to be looking at the U.S. Energy Information Administration. I'll put a I'll put a link down below in the description where you can find this. So when you guys do your own due diligence and start doing your research to understand how you guys are going to trade UGAZ and DGAZ, I will put a link down for their website, or however you're going to find this down in my description. We also have to keep in mind that UNG only tries to mimic the natural gas price. That's something very important to keep in mind. And it doesn't mean that it's obviously going to do that successfully. There are some hiccups that we should be looking at. We should also be looking out for a UNG price collapse as we are trading UGAZ and DGAZ. So kind of while trading UGAZ and DGAZ, we should be looking at obviously the UNG price. So always have that in your watch list, just always being open. And then we should be watching DGAZ and UGAZ, just understanding how it's going up and down, understand the influence on each other. And then we should be watching the news and any bills that are going to affect the natural gas price at all. And then we should also be watching the weather forecast. So kind of not like all intimately watching the weather forecast. Obviously, we should be looking at how much affect the what kind of season it is and how that's going to affect the market, just how cold is getting around that region of the mining for natural gas. So let's say UNG has obviously been up. We can talk about how it worked out on Friday. So, and this will kind of go into our predictions phase. You guys did okay, pretty well on Friday. So basically on Thursday, it had a lows of $19 to $20. This is when I went in and bought a couple shares of you guys, and then I did hold it overnight because I saw some more profitability areas. Now I did a mistake of not understanding where DGAZ was at that position and how UNG was performing. That is a big mistake that we always see. We have to understand that obviously the UNG, however that performs. So when even looking at UNG, we can see it started off low and started to increase, and even in the aftermarket over here, that there's an increase and it starts to trail down and start going up, right? So then I didn't take that into consideration, and I didn't gain as much profits as I wanted to. I could have probably gained at least $5 per share because I bought it at $19 and it sold at $24.69. I could have made $5 per share and made a couple $100. So how you guys are looking right now, it started as a $24.69. You can see there is a little dip in the off market. Looking at tomorrow's pre-market in the morning, that should also be taken into consideration. You can see the the MACD is going to intersect here. So going into the pre-market, we can see a higher price in UGAZ, possibly going up to the $24 to the $29 range. There might be a little hiccup of it going down, but I don't see that too much. Because looking at the UNG price, here, you can see that there is a slight dip, but you can see that it is going around the near. So when the pre-market hits, we can see that there's going to be an increase in the UNG value. Now, DGAZ was performing pretty well on Thursday. It stayed pretty high, but then throughout the day, it just started to go down because of how UNG was performing and the tensions between all these mines and stuff like that. So there was some tension throughout the day, which was put out through the news, and then we can see that the price was going down because UNG was going up. So we can see that it started off at a 418 and had a minus a $70 difference. So if you guys, I would recommend going into DGAZ tomorrow, really getting a statement in there. 327 is a very good and strong price to keep it at because we are going to see DGAZ go up tomorrow for sure. You guys won't go up as much as forecasted compared to DGAZ. I see DGAZ going a lot more higher, probably around the 345 range, even higher from that, but nothing too much higher from that. So that's something to keep in mind. So my final predictions for how DGAZ is gonna look. We can see it around that 345 range, nothing too high. The UNG price will go high, so that's why I'm saying it's gonna be stuck at the 345 range. So UNG will probably rise a little bit more, causing you guys to rise, and we probably a $24 to $29 range from that. So kind of going back onto how to trade these. So remember, we should always understand the differentials between UGAZ and DGAZ. Understand that these are inverse stocks. So whenever something does better, something does worse. It's like if something does better, then something else will do worse. We have to understand before when we trade. We have to understand the difference between UGAZ and DGAZ. That's the value of the energy industry. Always look at the energy industry. We have to understand the recent trends. So always be looking at your weekly, monthly, and by day reports, and understand what's happening throughout the day because of how COVID-19 is acting. Obviously, we have to understand that leverage ETFs do lose money over time. So these are two stocks that you do not want to keep over time. You want to sell these that same day or the next day. That's the clear-cut line for me, at least. Understand that you want to sell these that same day or the latest that same on the next morning, because you do not want to lose your profits. These are very fast moving stocks and very dramatic. Otherwise, while you're trading, obviously look at the UNG price, watch the news, watch DGAZ, and watch you guys. Obviously, those are the mains, and then watch your weather forecast. Weather is something really big. Understand how we have to understand how natural gas ETFs work. So obviously, understand how that's gonna work for you. Otherwise, if you guys have not, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please comment on what you guys want to see next, and also comment down any questions you guys have on UGAZ and DGAZ. I can answer almost all of those. I can guarantee that, and hopefully I can help you guys succeed in the UGAZ and DGAZ market. Otherwise, thank you guys, and peace out.